We're all learning to include more legumes in our diet. And have you ever had a stir fry with chickpeas in it? Have you?
I have, only because I've learned from you. So it's been a favourite.
We've created a stir fry recipe that has chickpeas in it. And if you say, well, that sounds a bit different, wait till you try it because it is really nice. You can put any other vegetable protein food in there that you would like to, and the Sanitarium Health Food Company produce quite a few vegetable protein foods. Some are frozen. I've used the Sanitarium burgers in this recipe. I've grilled them, and then at the very end of cooking I've just cut them into strips and I've just folded it through the mixture, and that is very nice too.
That's right.
But today I'm going to share my recipe with chickpeas. We start off with just a little bit of oil, as we usually do. Just a teaspoon or so of olive oil. And we're going to put the onion in first. We are also going to use some crushed garlic and some grated fresh ginger. Just allow that onion to warm because they're cold, of course, as they go into the pan. Just warm that up a little. And then we'll add the ginger and the garlic, and we will just dry roast that as we have with the other recipes, and then we'll put in the rest of the ingredients. You probably have stir fries quite a few times in your home.
Yes.
Would it be one of your favourites?
It would be one of my favourites because stir fries are actually quite nice with rice. So you can have brown rice and then top it up with stir fry.
Yes.
Now with the chickpeas, it's actually very handy for those who are allergic to peanuts or nuts. It actually gives it a nice flavour in your stir fry.
Yes, it does.
And my children love this.
That's good.
So they eat it with all these vegetables, and it's
that
good.
is wonderful.
So I think you need the garlic now.
Yes, please.
So we've got 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic and 1 teaspoon of crushed ginger.
Thank you. And just separate that a little, if you can, onto the hot pan, which dry roasts the garlic and the ginger. Doesn't take very long. That's probably enough. And then just stir the onion through, and then we're going to add the rest of the vegetables. What have we got there, Jade?
Now we've got some mushrooms.
Yes.
Would you like the mushrooms first?
Yeah, we might do the capsicum and the chickpeas first,
Okay.
because they take a little longer to cook. Put in your vegetables that take a little longer to cook, and then those that cook quickly.
So you like the chickpeas?
Yes. Even though chickpeas have a flavour of their own, they still will absorb some flavours of whatever it is that you're cooking. So it's good to put them in early, and they're fairly firm and they don't really break up. And so we'll put in the snow peas that we've washed and trimmed and then cut into small pieces.
Now how much capsicum did we use in that, Sibilla?
1 capsicum.
1 capsicum.
And it was a medium-sized capsicum.
And was that a cup of chickpeas that we've used?
It was a cup and a half of chickpeas.
Cup and a half.
Okay. Just need to let that cook a little. Just like another recipe that we had, which I think was a stir fry with savoury sauce, and we used these mature mung bean sprouts, and we mentioned that it's a good idea to put them in at the end, otherwise you finish up with strings. That's the same for this recipe as well. Now today when you go into the supermarket, there are many different types of sauces that are suitable for pasta and also for stir fries. And you can buy any of those sauces. But we have actually made one of our own, very simple. Just 3/4 of a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of corn flour, and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And you just mix that together. We're not going to add that right now, but that adds a lovely thin sauce to this recipe. Now traditionally, when you make a stir fry, quite a bit of oil is used, around 1/4 cup traditionally for a family size recipe. Now we've only used a teaspoon of oil. And you know, when a lot of oil is used, that oil clings to the vegetables and it makes them look all glossy, which is nice. That sauce will have that same glossy appearance, except it's not fat.
Okay, that's even better.
Absolutely. Okay, now it's time to
Put the
put the mushrooms in. And we've also got 2 bunches of bok choy. The bok choy is, as you would know, a Chinese green, very nutritious, a little higher in iron and calcium than our regular greens that we are used to. And so it's good to use that. We can put that in as well. Now that will, it looks like a lot of greens going in, but that will reduce because the water content is very high in these type of vegetables. And so we just allow the heat to touch these greens, and they will start to reduce because the natural moisture will be released as the heat comes in contact with these vegetables. So this is a lovely, healthy recipe, but it tastes good too. Now if you want to increase the flavour, you can add more garlic.
Yes.
And you can add more ginger. When I demonstrate, we aim for medium flavours, and so we've just added a teaspoon of each.
Yes.
But you can increase that.
And bok choy is actually a common ingredient for Asian cooking.
Yes.
So you can find it in the, like in Safeway or any grocery shops in the fresh food area.
Yes. Just allow that to warm up for a little while. And so all we have left now is just to add the sauce and also those mature mung bean sprouts, and then we'll also stir these nuts through. You can have cashews or almonds, but I've chosen almonds today, and these are actually dry roasted.
Okay. But you can actually choose any other nuts.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
You can have whichever nuts you like. By dry roasting your nuts, it stops them from softening so quickly when you add them to food that has moisture, because nuts will absorb moisture.
Okay.
And so by having them roasted, you improve the flavour.
So it actually stays crunchy.
Yes, it does. For a little while, not forever. But it will stay crunchy for a little while. And so some of the moisture is removed during the roasting process in the oven.
Okay.
And so it takes a little while for that moisture to get back in and for them to soften. And so it's for cooking, you'll find that usually dry roasted nuts are used in cooking.
Okay, that's a very good tip there, Sibilla. Thank you for that.
That's all right. And they taste so nice too. Now this is reducing very nicely, as you can see. And we're just about there. So we can add the sauce now. We may need to just stir that. Whenever you use corn flour, you'll find that it settles on the bottom of the dish, and sometimes it becomes part of the dish. But just by stirring it, we'll be right. Doesn't that look good?
We're
Okay,
ready?
yes. Just pour it in. Where's that corn flour? Never mind. Okay. And you'll find that very quickly that sauce will cling to these vegetables. And we may as well put these in as well now.
So bean sprouts,
Bean sprouts. Or bean shoots, as they're called in some of the supermarkets. But you'll see they're the mature sprouts, long sprouts without the beans. Now that's just about done. Again, if any of your family members need to have their vegetables soft, and often older people and very young children will need to have them a little softer. They may not be able to chew so well because they haven't got all their teeth. And as we get older, well, sometimes the teeth don't work so well either. And so by using the lid of the fry pan, you can control the degree of tenderness.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll add these and we'll turn this off because it's actually cooked.
So that's almost ready now.
And ready to use. Very quick. And stir fries, that's what's good about stir fries, that it's quick and also that you can use a whole variety of vegetables.
That's right. The key to good nutrition is actually variety,
Yes.
balance,
Yes.
and moderation.
Excellent.
So when we finish cooking this, you put it on a plate with a bed of rice and then top it up with stir fry.
That's right. Beautiful meal.